Hello, hello, hello. We are back after about 4.5 years. I don't know how long it's been, guys, but we are back, and I'm going to do another nanoscape in a new aquarium, new to me. Let me bring this up and show you the brand name here. Can we see it? There it is. It's an AquaTop. And actually, I think they got the, pardon the fingerprints on here, but do they have the size? No, I don't. But that is what I paid for it. Pretty expensive, but I think came with the foam underneath, as you can see, cut to size. I saw a guy a while ago. He used like some kind of silicone to glue that to there, so I might do that. It makes sense. So you don't have to worry about that lining it up and everything. So, but this is going to be the adventure in building this tank. And I have some black sand is what I think I'm going to use. I got 2 bags of this. And I'll let you know it's a 5-pound bag. And I'll let you know if that ends up working. I'm going to keep that in here for now because it is getting all over my mat here. So yeah, basically this is going to be the start to me building this, and I'm going to give you the walkthrough. Let's see how many. So it's about 17 inches. Let's start from there. I just happen to have this mat here. So yeah, it's about 17 to about 18 inches, I would say, right around long. I guess we can do the top to bottom, about 6.5, and front to back. Let's turn it a little bit, guys, because I never see anything on these nano tanks, unfortunately. And it is about 5.5, give or take. Those are the dimensions, and you will see what we're gonna do next. Stay tuned. So we are back for step 1. Like I said, we are going to put this foam on the bottom of the tank with a little silicone. Like I said, a young man, I think he was Australian, did this in a video, but it's an older video, so I don't know if you'll be able to find it. I don't even remember who it was. I just thought it was a smart idea, so I'm gonna take his lead and try to put some silicone on this. Let's see if this silicone is still good. Just cut back a little bit, and it is not there. I just used this, I want to say just, it's been a while now, probably a month ago, so I don't know if any of this in the back here is going to be still good. So I'm going to cut some more and see what happens. How long does silicone last, guys, in the container? Is that good? Well, it looks good. We went far enough back. Let me wipe this off before we continue. I was going to use this as the wipe for the tank, but we will grab another one. These are just alcohol wipes. I wanted to wipe down the tank so we could get the best adhesion to the tank as possible. I'm sorry, guys, for making you watch this screen where nothing is happening right here. Probably should have planned this out a little better. But here we go. Let's flip this over and get to wiping. All right. Again, just a wet alcohol wipe. I'm not going to leave it wet. I'm going to hit it with a cloth. Not get that completely ready yet. Let's hit it with the fine pile microfiber towel to buff it. One more on the other side. All right, let's get after it. Pump this in. All right. I personally want to do a thin layer because I want the, what do you call it, the foam to not be uneven. That's the whole purpose of the foam, so you don't have any issues with the glass. So I think that'll be all right, and we're going to try to smooth that out. Put this down somewhere where I won't get it everywhere. And I'm going to use a card to smooth it out. Just a regular old playing card. So what do you guys think? You ever done this before? Let me know in the comments how it works. And whatnots. So I actually used that tube of silicone on my tank that started leaking a month ago. It was the C4 150 gallon. Love the tank, but obviously not the leaking part. And I've only had it for about, I think, 4.5 years, something like that. So here we go. Let's start on this corner, I guess, edge to edge, and drop it. Slide it and start in the center, push it out, and now we're going to flip it and let the weight of the thing hold it. So I'm going to move it a little bit so we get the best front, back, side to side. Very good. So, like the young man in the video said, you should be able to pull this off if you don't want it on there anymore. So that is round one, and we are gonna let it sit overnight just like this, and I think we're gonna start scaping tomorrow, guys. Stay with us. All right, folks, went inside the house today and realized I got a package. This thing came in a day early. So, ordered it on Amazon. This is the pump I wanted to use because of the spray bar. I really like spray bars personally. Tested this thing out. I wish it was a little more powerful, but I think it'll be fine for this setup. I think they say this goes to like 10 to 15 gallons, I think, or something. It would filter, but I don't believe that's true. But again, this is only, what was this, 5 gallons, 5.5 gallons? Not even. I don't remember what this was now already. But let's get into it. So I modified it a little bit. I'll show you what it came with. It came with this. This is an aerator. You put it on the end. Let me pull this thing out. Held on with 4 little suction cups. So it came. Take this apart. That. This is. I can't even twist this right now, guys. But this is two pieces. So one elbow that goes into here and one that was like that. So let's show you the first thing I did. I cut this elbow so it wouldn't be as long. And I did the same for this one as well. So they would have been a 1/2 inch longer. So this would be, it would basically stop there. I wanted it to stop here. So just to make it a little shorter, more compact, and closer to the actual filter. So it's not obstructing any view in the tank, or I mean, it's such a small tank, I don't want this to be the focal point. Excuse me again. So this was this long. This tube had this many more sprayers and this little cap at the end of this. Then I cut it off. So I cut this in half, pop this cap out, and then I notched, let me see, bring it in here for you. See where I notched that? Took a little saw blade, notched it. You can use a hacksaw for all this, guys, and then just hit it with a piece of sandpaper, or if you have a sander and a bandsaw like I used, you can do it like that. But literally, you could probably use a file to do this piece as well. But I notched it so this hole will still work. Let me give you a little light. So this will line up with that, and then all 6 of these jets will work. So I made it to where I can put this on here and it'd be extra close. And I also sanded this piece a little bit too, about I don't know, 1/8 of an inch shorter, because this was a little longer, so I could slide it down here closer, and I'll show you why in 1 second. But filter, actually I want this again to hit the top when I have it aerating. So this is why I shrunk them or shortened the length, because I didn't want the pipe that far away. Wanted it closer, and I'm going to bend it up. So when it's in the tank, it's going to be like that. But this is going to be, these things are really tight fit on here, guys. Either that or I'm just really weak. Put this back the right way. That one might have to be glued in place, but I'm not sure. So basically like that. And there is a line here that tells you as low as the water can go is basically there. And I'm going to try to keep it off the back glass. Let me slide this up a little bit. Going to try to keep it off the back glass because we want it still to circulate, and we want it a little bit higher. So right around there is where I would like it to be. And let me move all this extra stuff. So I'm not using the aerator because I'm just going to have the water agitated by this at the top. So it's going to be a little bit more at an angle, but I want you guys to see how it is in here. So very compact package, and that is what I was going for. I can also aim it down, get more water flow through the tank. But again, we need air, so I'm not going to have any bubbler or anything in here. Just going to have this, but again, this will be a little bit more of an angle to disturb the top of the water and keep the current going around. So I want it to come up, hit this back wall, hopefully drop down, and then come back around. So fairly simple. I figured I'd show you guys since that thing came in tonight and I couldn't help myself. So stay with us. All right, guys, I figured I'd show you how I trick out this little filter as well for what I want. So it came with foam, stuff down in here, and then these little bio balls, which is pretty cool. Those are just sitting on top. So I don't think I'll have enough room for the bio balls, unfortunately. But again, the tank should have enough bio load in it because it's going to be live plants, rocks, driftwood, stuff like that. So what I did, and I already did it, is I took scissors, pinch this down here like that, and cut. So when I cut, basically I cut that piece out. And by doing that, that's for two reasons. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I want to put filter floss in here, and I don't want you to be able to see it through these lines. So basically for looks is why I cut this like this, and it'll be easy in, easy out. So I'm going to grab some pillow stuffing, filter floss, whatever you would like to call it. Yeah, that's basically it. So I got some really, I usually don't use this kind. Forget what it's called, something fill, or I don't know, but just happen to have this. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to take it and I'm going to stuff it into here. And I'm going to tear off a little bit once it's a little bit above here. And you guys might be better using scissors, but so that's what I want to do. And it's pretty close to where I want it, and I will show you why. I'm gonna stuff this back in here. There's a fly. Very interested in what I'm doing. So I might be able to put a little bit more, but what I do have as well right here, it's a little bag with Chem Purigen. Basically, it's going to take any of the tannins out of the water. Emptied the bag pretty good too, so just so I could get it to fit in here. Yeah, so I'm going to be able to put a little bit more of the filter floss in here, which this stuff I always want more. More the better, because it'll polish the water. So by polish, I mean keep it crystal clear. But you don't know, like I can probably put a little bit more in. But at the end of the day, with this motor, I don't know how it will do. So if it doesn't do great, I will let you guys know that I took some out. So I won't know until I test it. But that's basically it. So I'm going to stuff this in here. I want to make sure the water gets all across those little pieces of the Purigen, and don't want that in the edge. So I'm just going to shove it down and let it push itself back up. Oh, let's see what I do. Did I push it down too far? I sure did. So that's what I was trying to avoid, seeing any of this coming out further down. And it might not work out for me. So you guys are coming along for the ride. And who knows, I might not want it like this anyways. It might just be easier to put filter floss all the way down and in a week it may be dirty enough to where you don't even see it. So we'll see if that's the case. Yeah, I think you can see it. Unfortunately for me. Yeah. Alright guys, I think you're going to see it just a little bit. I'm going to fast forward or something. Yeah, so this top little edge, but you can barely see it on this side. So that's the side that you'll see from the tank. This side you won't see. So it's almost good enough for me. I might be able to push that in with like a safety pin or something. So that's basically it. And that's what I'm going to use to filter the tank. Hopefully it works out good. We'll see. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys what I was going to be using for lighting on this tank. I'm trying to keep this one on a budget. So I'm going to be reusing these Marine Land LED little strip light. They come with these clips, and this clip is to grab onto the inside of the tank, so the lip. So I'll show you. Just put it in here, fold it over, and it snaps on just like that. Pretty simple. And then you would be putting it on like this and snap it down. So what it's supposed to do, I guess you wouldn't put it on this because it's for a tank with a lid. So it's like this. So the light will go down. This would shoot it up. But like that. So what I did a while back, I made for a similar tank. It was a Sephora. It started to leak, just like my big Sephora did. So 2 for 2. I own 2 of them. They're more money than most tanks, and both of them leaked. Very sad. But let's get back to this. This is just a piece of Kydex, which is a thermal form plastic, which is a fancy word for you heat it up and it'll be pliable and you can make it a different shape. Comes in flat sheets. So I heated it up, made it a different angle, drilled some holes in it, put some suction cups on it. So the suction cup is to hold it to here. It's usually a little higher, but I'll just show you down here so it'll be in frame. And then this, and again, this can move on the light. Oh, it doesn't want to move. We got to undo it, but I'd put it probably right there. And then slide this on. So, and then, excuse me, and I would suction cup it to here. It would actually probably still come back more on this light. So actually it was probably not bad where I had it, because I'd want to get a little bit more light here because it's lower, and I made it at an angle on purpose. But that's basically it. Plug it in and we'll light it up once we start putting the tank together. But I just wanted to show you what I was using for lights. I think these go for like, I don't know, $30 or something like that. And in the tank I had before, I had a lot of plants and it was growing those plants out of control. So just this little thing, and it has blue and white LED. So it's your choice though. So I don't think it's blue and white. It's blue or white. Pretty simple. We're going to be going to the fish farm in Miami soon, and we're going to possibly do some videoing there, picking some fish out to put in this tank. And hopefully that'll be in this video too, and you'll see me do the hardscape and all that stuff. So stay tuned, guys. I just wanted to show you a little bit on the lighting and stuff like that. So keep with us, please. All right, boys and girls, we are back. Sorry about all this glare you're going to be getting with this view and the noise. We are in my bedroom where I am going to be having this tank. I wanted this to be a small tank that I could view on my nightstand. But I'm going to be putting some kind of lid on here just so I don't have a fish smell or anything like that in my bedroom. It's going to be a small tank, so I don't know how much would be fishy, but let me start off by showing you what I'm about to do. These are, I believe, API, some kind of like a root tab of sorts. I think it's for their pond stuff. Works good with lily pads and things like that. But I like to break them up. One of these will be, I would assume, plenty for this tank. But break it up into 4 pieces. That size. And we're going to break this one up a little bit more. Don't know where I'm going to be planting anything specifically yet. But I want to have enough nutrients. I know I'm not going to be planting in this back corner into the ground or the substrate because that's where the filter is going to go. So I'm going to show you what I plan on doing. Man, it is noisy out tonight. So let me get all this extra where I cut the piece up, put it in there, and I'm going to show you the bag of sand. So, let's see it better back there. So that's what I'm going to be using. We're going to start. I got 2 bags. I'll start with this one and work our way to the next one if it needs it, which I'm going to guess that it will need 2 bags, but let's see. And I chose black sand because I haven't used it in a while. And I wanted something that's going to make the fish pop a little more. And if you guys don't know, usually they'll pop a little better on darker sand. So actually it looks like one of these bags is going to be enough. What do you guys think? Like I said, sorry about the glare, but it's the best I could do, mounting and everything where we're at. All right, let's see. Get a card or something and flatten this out. Yeah, I think that's more than enough. We build up the back a little bit and bring it back down and even it out. Yeah, I didn't even need 1 bag. So, a little less than 1 bag is what I'm going to be using. So that's good. I'm happy about that. But I wanted to get everything started so I didn't have to worry about the fish when I put them in. So I'm probably going to be getting fish next week. So no rush or anything like that. But let's see how this bad boy fits in here. Is there vents on the bottom? There are not. So, remember I said before I want to keep this off the glass just a little bit and up higher, a little higher. So I'm going to assume this is where we want it. Now I can always move it. It depends on where this last one pushes the water out and where it's going to end up going. But this should be good for getting the direction of the water to come here, hopefully hit this far side of the glass, and then head its way back down and hit in there, and maybe come back and suck in through there to get the filtration going. So I believe this is plenty for this tank, but we will see once everything's filled up and we are on to the next section. So show you guys how the light will look as well. I'm going to, let me put this on. I'm going to suction cup it to the back glass. And we're going to tuck the wires on this side of the tank, on the further side, or closer to you, further from where I am right now. And that's basically all she's going to need. And like I said, it's either going to get a plexiglass lid or a glass lid. I haven't decided yet. Probably some kind of plexiglass or clear plastic, just because the safety side. I don't want to bump it or anything like that. But that's basically it for that right now, guys. What do you think? How does it look? So far, so good? Yes, is the answer. Alright, folks, I wanted to show you what the light temperature looked like. I'd say it's pretty good for this little tank, but you guys will see once it's done. I'll show you the blue as well. So I'm going to put some water in it, and we'll be back. Alright, folks, this is how I'm filling it up. I have a gallon jug up there above the tank, and I'm just siphoning it into this bowl, letting it run over so it doesn't stir up the soil or sand. Pretty simple. Got it clamped on. And we're almost out of water. That was the water jug. Gallon 2. If you guys are wondering what this is, it's a thing I used to put my cell phone on. It was a magnet thing, that the steel ball. But this switch will not be there either. All that's going to be tucked away and hidden. And round 2, there it is, empty. Alright, folks, this is what I use to treat the tank. It's my favorite, Prime, but you can see we have a little, well, you probably can't tell because of the angle, but the back of the tank has less water than the front by about 1/4 inch. So I'm going to have to shim this nightstand a little bit, I think, so I can add more water to it. Let's go ahead and turn on the pump, see how it works. Alright, just plugged it in. It purged all the air out of it. Now, to be honest, it's way less powerful than I thought it was going to be. What do you guys think? It still could be plenty, because look how far it's pushing the bubbles to this side of the tank. So pretty far. But I think I want more pressure. Let me show you what it can do if I push one of these. So if I were to close off one, definitely have more pressure. Might even need to close off 2. But again, we'll see once the fish are in here. And I wanted this thing actually to be underwater. So I wanted to just disturb the top. But so far, so good. We're going to have to shim this and go from there. If you guys are wondering about the frog in the background, it's a little bronze statue from Tim Cottrell, the Frogman. He's an artist. So, alright guys, stay with us. We'll be back in a second. Alright guys, I'd like to first start off by apologizing for the crusty dusty lighting that we got going on here. I put a towel up against the back so you can see what I'm actually doing. Less distractions, better lighting for what we're doing right now. So we're going to be adding all the, hardscape in here, the rocks and the wood. right now. So I only had 3 pieces of wood that I was happy with to put in here. I'm very big on driftwood and stuff like that. And one of these, unfortunately, is covered in snail eggs, which isn't the end of the world, but I wish it wasn't covered in them. So, again, let me grab a couple of these, show you what we're working with. It should be brighter once I put them in the tank because we're on the opposite side of the light. But it's just a few pieces of rocks and wood. So I don't know what we're going to be doing exactly yet. Here's the one with all the eggs on it. So a couple of interesting pieces of wood. Probably going to use all 3 of the pieces of wood and maybe 2 to 3 of the rocks. So let's get into it right now. So I wanted to start with rocks in the back, build up the back over here, and then possibly have it come down a little bit and then maybe a little bit built back up here in this area. But let's get this out of the way. Start with a rock, big one, or bigger style. I think we're going to start with this one here. And I don't have any idea where I want anything yet, or if it's going to be a peninsula style tank or what. Not sure yet. You guys are coming along on the adventure, and I kept the water low because I'm going to be adding the hardscape, so hopefully it makes a difference in the water level once I put it in, so I don't have to add any more water, but won't be the end of the world. I think that's a pretty cool rock. Looks really dramatic. So, what do you guys think so far? I'm looking at it from the same angle you are. This one might be too big for this tank for what I'm going for, because I want as much swimming room for the fish as possible. But yeah, this is an awesome piece right here for sure. All the holes and stuff in it. Yeah, I think right out of the gate, we are going to pull this awesome rock out, unfortunately. And if you see anything falling, it is the dirt that I put in here. It had a lot of air bubbles in it still. I need to put some snails or something in the tank to get rid of a lot of that. They'll dig in the sand, and you can see in the back, see the air bubbles releasing back here by me. So I want to leave a little bit of space in the back. I want to put some Anubias back there to cover up the actual filter. It'll grow right along with it. But this is one of my to me, one of the more fun parts on doing the tanks is scaping it. So, and figuring out how you actually want the wood to be in there. Stuff like that. So when I first was doing this, I wanted long, branchy, thinner, stringy branches. But now, not as much, I don't think. Yeah, so I think I'm going to push this to the side a little bit. And put this in here. My phone is making a face on the back end and lighting up the tank differently. I don't know if I'm getting messages or what. That's the way the cookie crumbles. All right. Oh, it's doing it again, guys. Is it me bringing my hand past? I think that could be what it is. Let's see. No? Yes? Yep. Ooh, that makes us mad. Okay. I'm going to stop it real quick and try to figure that out. All right, we're back. Let's grab this. And again, this soil has so much air in it. Hopefully no gas. But it really shouldn't be too much gas in here because there's no life been in here except for the bacteria I put in here from the prime. So that's that. I feel like this video is going to be way too long, but I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use this little piece here because this is what I had planned from the beginning, is to stuff this in here and sort of hide so much of the filter. Was the plan. Move this, the tweezers. So we'll see how everything ends up looking, and if I need to change something like this, looks very overgrown already, or too much, or too close to the glass, maybe I'll slide it back a little more. We still getting that little face thing here? Can't tell. All right, and next we're going to put the same thing but smaller up front. So we got that. And I usually like to twist the roots up a little bit if I can and grab them just so they don't stick up, or makes it easier for them not to stick up past. Oh, it's still doing it. That's horrible. It makes it easier for them not to stick up past and see the roots. So that's the whole purpose of me doing that. And again, this is not looking great with this water like this, but we will press on. I think I'm going to use this Anubias and glue it onto this wood, and I have some other stuff to glue on to that wood as well. But we have one Anubias by itself here. We'll find some place to plant that. I'm going to grab some other plants and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Again, bear with me with the lighting and everything. This is a mess. This is a mess. I've never used this phone to record, so I guess we're going to learn together today on what not to do. But I'm going to pull this out of the water real quick. I'm going to use this super glue, and we're going to put some of this, I think it's called coral moss on, if I'm not mistaken, coral moss. So we're just going to put a couple of dots of super glue. I had some in another tank, quite a bit of this in a specific tank, and it does really good, but I think because it's highlighting, I don't know if this stuff needs highlighting or not. If you guys know, I'd be happy to hear about it in the comments. But I'm not positive. So that's what I did. I just grabbed it, glued it on. I'm going to hold it down for a couple seconds and wait for this glue to stop drying on my fingers, hopefully. And we're going to get a small, here's a little piece that grabbed on. I'm going to drop it in there. Hopefully it catches, because that stuff's expensive. The coral moss is like $30 for a little tiny piece. So we're going to grab this and glue it as well. It's a whole mess of Java. I'm going to glue it to the back bottom. What I usually like to do is set up my tanks for what I think the fish will like. So I like it to look pretty, and I like it to where the fish will swim around and enjoy the tank as well. So a lot of times I'll change stuff out because they are not using the environment like I thought they would, or I don't think they like it as much. I don't know how many people do that or not, but that's just how I roll. Oh, that looks horrible. I might scratch this whole video, guys. Just kidding. Too far in. And I always put Swazertang in my tanks. So if you ever have any shrimp, which I plan on having in here, baby fish, anything like that, they can lay eggs, they can breed in that stuff, and that stuff grows really good. You'll be pulling it out, quite a bit of it, if you end up putting it in your tanks. It's literally one of my favorite plants. When it starts to grow in, it gets real fluffy looking. Awesome plant. All right, let's grabbed another one of these bronze crypts. Like I said, I don't know if the tall one is a bronze crypt or not, but I believe these are for sure. I'm gonna stick that right around here. And I grabbed a big, I say big for this tank, big piece of Java fern as well to put in the back. Hopefully we can, unfortunately one of these branches broke, but which way do we put it? This way or this way? So all these plants came from other tanks that I have. I have a 150 gallon, a 90 gallon, and a 60, plus a 20 long. Don't really use the 20 long for much. There's one beta in it, but okay. And now we have some kind of crypt, very small one. Put this in the front. Here goes that little face again. Yeah, these are very delicate, whatever kind of crypt this is. Roots are like hair. They break super easy. And it's caught in here. I guess guess we're just going to let that hang out for now. Put more Java. And we got some more Saswazer tang. I'll drop that in here. We want to put a little more of the, oh, there's another piece of Java. Let's drop that in there, let it get watered up. I'm trying to put some more Anubias in here as well. And when I put plants in, I like to put them a little bit on this side of the tank, a little bit on that side of the tank, so it balances it out. And I think one more piece of Anubias and we'll be done. With the Anubias. Take off this root. It does not look good there. Nor does it look good there. Alright, so that might not go in. That's done, and where was that Java? Right here. Alright, folks. Honestly, the tank looks like crap. This is not exactly what I was hoping for, but hopefully it'll grow in. We'll see what happens. I put a couple of shrimp in here. I just want to put 3 of them. They're brown. They were crystal reds, but these are ones I bred out. So that's basically it for right now. I'm going to make a lid for that. I'm going to show how to do that. That might be before anything in this video, but got to get some snails to work this dirt. But I'm slightly happy with it, but the planting is not great, and that's super glue. That's why that's so bright there. Super glue dripped a little too much. That's why you're supposed to use the gel. Didn't have any though. But that's basically it. I'll show it to you in a few days. Alright guys, just doing a quick voiceover. The crypts melted pretty good in this, so I replanted some other plants in here. Just wanted you to see what it looked like. Wanted to tell you what the deal was. I wasn't happy with it, and I'm still not happy with how it is right now, but check that out right now. Alright, boys and girls. This is about 3 weeks in. Didn't get a chance to do any update videos, so this is all going to go in just one. So you can see we got a few different fish. We already got something that shouldn't be in here growing right there. Let's get close on that. So, but I like stuff like that in these smaller tanks. Looks pretty cool. You can see we got a little lily pad going on in here. It's green neon. Tetras are loving it. And those are ruby tetras right there. Just got those this weekend, which was 2 days ago. And the Tucana tetras as well. So those two haven't colored up yet. These ones are looking fat and sassy. So this is what the tank looks like right now. A couple of new plants. Not happy with it, but we're going to keep messing with it and spread some of this stuff out. So I just figured I'd wrap this video up like this. And we'll do some updates on it later. And there's quite a few fish in here. I think it's enough space for all of them, but we're going to be taking about 5 of these guys out. And maybe we're going to put some chili raspberries later, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. But stay with us, guys. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.